Hello respected teachers and future educators. Welcome to this special video series made just for you. If you're preparing for lecture BPS 17, TGT, BPS 16 or any other teaching exam, today we are going to explore one of the most essential area of teaching knowledge, teaching techniques and methodology. In this lecture, we will cover 20 MCQs with detailed explanation and real classroom examples. So grab your notebook, stay with me till the end, and let's learn together in an interactive and fun way. Let's start with a simple question. Why do you think we use different teaching methods in the classroom? Think about your own class. Some of you love to read, some prefer drawing, some enjoy group work. We all learn in different ways. That is why good teachers use a variety of teaching methods. It's not just about finishing the syllabus, it's about making sure everyone understands, connects, and grows. So, using different strategies helps reach every learner in the classroom. So, the right answer should be to make learning effective and inclusive. Our next question is, which of the following is a learner-centered teaching method? Lecture method, dictation method, project method, or reading aloud? The right answer is project method. Now imagine giving your student a task where they have to create a poster about pollution. They research, discuss, and make something of their own. That is the project method, where the focus is not just on the teacher, but on the student's active involvement. That is learning-centered teaching. Here comes a thinking one. Ready? Which teaching method encourages critical thinking the most? Lecture method, question-answer method, drill method, or a storytelling? The correct answer is question-answer method. Dear learners, critical thinking means thinking deeply, not just memorizing. When a teacher asks open-ended questions like, what do you think will happen next? Or why is this important? Students reflect, connect ideas, and explain. That is where real learning happens, through curiosity and discussion. Let's bring in some theory. Active-based learning is most closely related to which learning theory? Behaviorism, Constructivism, Humanism, or Cognitivism? The correct answer is Constructivism. Constructivism is all about students building their own understanding, not just reading or listening, but actually doing experiments, role plays, group work. These activities help students learn from experience. So, if you like hands-on learning, you are actually using constructivist method. Let's talk communication. What is the best way to build speaking skills? Silent reading, note-taking, diagram labeling. The correct answer is role play. Dear learners, role play is like a mini drama. You act, speak, and think like someone else, whether it is a customer and shopkeeper or a news reporter. You are practicing real-life communication. It is a fun, creative, and super effective for building confidence in speaking. Let's move to something practical. What should a teacher do during a demonstration? Only observe, explain theory only, show the process while explaining, or give notes? Dear educators, demonstration means show and tell. If I'm teaching how to do long division, I will solve the problem on the board while explaining each step. Some students see, hear, and understand at the same time. That is how demonstrations make complex ideas easier. Let's test what you know about the lecture method. Which of the following is not a characteristics of the lecture method? One-way communication, time-saving, active student participation, or teacher-centered? The correct answer is active student participation. In a typical lecture, the teacher does most of the talking and students just listen. There is not much back and forth. That is why it is called one way and teacher center. It is fast but not very interactive. Now, how do you think values like honesty and kindness are best taught? Like our question is, the best method to teach values in the class is memorization, lecture, storytelling, or dictation. Correct answer is storytelling. Stories touch the heart. When students hear stories about honesty or courage, they remember the lesson emotionally, not just mentally. Stories stick with us long after the class ends. That is why storytelling is a powerful tool for teaching values. What is micro-teaching really for? Teach students in a small groups, train teachers in specific teaching skills, provide personal divisions, or teach only theory. Dear students, micro-teaching is like a mini practice session for teachers. They focused on one skill, like giving clear instructions, then teach for a few minutes, get feedback, and improve. It is short, focused, and super useful for teachers in training. So guess the answer now? The right answer is train teachers in specific teaching skills. Okay, learners, time for a creative one. What is brainstorming good for? For memorization, generating creative ideas, punishment, or homework checking? The right answer is generating creative ideas. Brainstorming is like a creative part. Everyone share ideas, no judgment. For example, how can we reduce waste at school? You will hear so many fresh, interesting thoughts. It's open the minds and builds teams separate. Quick check. Which method involves learning by doing? Lecture method, demonstration method, active-based method, or dictation method? The right answer is active-based method. Learning by doing means students are active, not just watching or listening. In activity-based methods, students perform tasks, solve problems, or create things. This helps them understand deeply and remember longer. Let's revisit the lecture method. What is it really like? Interactive, student-centered, teacher talks for most of the time, or students work in group? Dear learners, in a lecture, it is mostly the teacher's voice you hear. That is why it is less interactive, great for sharing lots of information quickly, but not ideal for the student engagements. If we take the practical example, now I am giving you a just lecture. It's not two-way. It's not interactive. It's just one way teacher is giving a lecture. Our next question is, what is the purpose of using questioning in teaching? To confuse students, to assess students' understanding, to punish students, or to fill time? Right answer is to assess students' understanding. Like asking questions helps the teacher know if students are on track. It also makes students think and stay engaged. It's a checkup for learning, quick and effective. Next question is, which method is suitable for large class? Project method, lecture method, role play, or group discussion? Of course, the right answer should be lecture method. When there are 50 or 60 students in a class, it's hard to get everyone actively involved. Lecture helps deliver content effectively. Not the most engaging, but something necessary for big groups. Let's think about the downside now. Which of these is a disadvantage of the lecture method? Quick delivery of the content, less student interaction, good for large groups, or time saving? Correct answer is less student interaction. Yes, lectures are fast, but students are mostly silent. There is later chance to ask, discuss, or applying ideas right away. That is a big drawback if you want active learning. Next question is, which method helps students develop problem-solving skills? Drill method, project method, reading aloud, or dictation? Correct answer is project method. Projects are like real-world tasks. They make students think, plan, research, and solve. That is where problem solving happens, through active exploration, not repetition. Now let's talk teamwork in learning. Which teaching technique involves students teaching each other? Peer tutoring, lecture method, demonstration, or drill method? The right answer is peer tutoring. When students explain something to another, both learn. Peer tutoring builds confidence, responsibility, and clear communication. A great win-win method. Time to define a key term, methodology. What does methodology in teaching means? The tools teacher uses to discipline students, the way or strategies teachers used to teach, the textbooks used in class, or the school timetable. The correct answer is the ways or strategies teachers used to teach. Dear learners, methodology is like a teacher's game plan. It is how learners' lessons are delivered through discussion, demonstrations, activities, and more. It is what makes teaching effective. Let's talk storytelling again. Which method uses stories, anecdotes, or real-life examples? Storytelling method, drill method, lecture method, or dictation method? Dear learners, stories brings lesson to lives. They help us understand complex ideas, remember them better, and even enjoy the learning process. Whether it is science or moral values, stories stick. Last one, what is the best way to memorize facts? Or which method is best for memorizing facts? Drill method, role play method, project method, or discussion method? The right answer is, of course, drill method. Drill means practice, repetition, and routine. It is perfect for learning times table, vocabulary, formulas, and facts. Not super exciting, but very effective for memory. Dear learners and future educators, thank you for watching this first part of teaching techniques and methodology. I hope these questions and explanation help you understand the concept clearly and give you confidence for your exams. In the next video, we will continue with the 20 more important MCQs to strengthen your knowledge further. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you won't miss the next video in this series. If you have any question, write them in the comment box below. I'll be happy to help. See you in the next lecture. Take care.